Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dinker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Catherine inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to the last episode for November on the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther, the third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, in the middle of the mosh pit, it's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going? Hey, Alex, how's it going, buddy?
Hi, Alex.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah. So, Geek, are you excited? This is the last podcast till December.
So, yeah, this is our last podcast till December, but let's give it off for a bang today, Joe, because we have an awesome guest, right?
Yes.
Are you freaking pumped?
I'm
Are you pumped?
pumped, brah. And
pumped?
Anthony,
Because
yourself.
let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to our guest, our Rocky
Anthony
legend,
Blackwell Jr.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on?
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Hope there's a lot of people in the chat. Come say hi to us. Boy,
Yes.
it's gonna be an adventure.
Oh gosh, as I told Geek yesterday with
Yeah.
me with my PPW shirt, Geek, I'm sorry, you're outnumbered Pennsylvania Keystone style, man. We're the
Yeah.
captain now.
Right.
Yeah, that I guess so, right?
But it's all love. We love the same thing. We love independent wrestling, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not wearing a PPW shirt, but it's PPW Jason. I'm wearing my Tom Mitchell shirt. Former guest on the show.
oh yeah, it's Tom
the
Mitchell.
former
Oh,
guest,
he was.
yeah.
I'm jellies. I guess I have to buy that merch when I go to the show. 'Cause
Yeah, I bought it off him last time. He is someone who supported me for a very long time. I believe he owns some of my older podcast merch, so I wanted to return the favor and buy some of his.
Yes. There's a lot of independent wrestlers that we've had on the podcast that like we've never met in person that like I would totally run over the table and be like, what's his name from Futurama? I'd be like, Geek knows. Hey, Harley. Oh, now Harley's on the opposite side. She's in the chat again.
He's in the
Yeah.
chat today. There you go.
Harley's amazing. I'm a big
Oh,
fan of Harley.
That's the
Really,
queen of the
I'm-
indies right there, dude.
I'm rooting for her.
Oh yeah. We're all supporting you, dude.
Damn, ABJ has a serious comb over today. Our buddy Alex over there.
Yeah.
A comb over. It's just the way it's laying, my God. Now you have me all messed up. Hold on.
Hey, see how he makes fun of you. I said I was gonna say you look like we got. Why did we get since when did we get Jesus? Jesus is our guest today.
And the costume's right over there. I can put it on. No.
Jesus, I didn't know. I prayed so hard last night. I guess he that went evaporation to the guest.
I am the wrong kind of Jesus that you want. You know.
Yes.
I did wrestling commentary as Jesus.
We got Scream guy in the chat right here.
You got a
Ghostface.
subscriber, Geek. Did you see that?
That is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Scream, yeah,
Scream was my favorite one.
I want to be in the sequel. I love that TikTok video. Mr. Ghostface.
CR Media is like get a beautiful light on that face.
Right.
Bless us all with your loveliness. Harley's dying in the chat. Can you hear her laughing from over here? I could hear the laughter. Ha 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 ha.
So what do we got? What do you got lined up here?
What do we got? So we're gonna ask you, like, what would you say? So since it's the end of the year, we're gonna do some like year end like matches and favorite moments from the year.
Oh boy. I've consumed a lot of wrestling this year. Are we talking TV
Indies.
wrestling, indies
TVs,
wrestling.
TVs and indies included. Live experiences.
Oh,
I
every,
guess
man.
top 5 indie matches, top 5 regular matches.
right. This year.
Wow.
This year.
Well, a really cool experience just recently happened to me. I had a friend of someone who I met in the business. Unfortunately, couldn't go to a show, and then last minute they called me and said, "Hey, I have 2 free tickets to Monday Night Raw. Do you want them?" And I was like, "Sure." So I showed up at Raw, and we were on the floor. We were literally on the rampway going down. So I was like 4 rows from the ramp and 3 rows from the ring or something like that. I've never been that close to a professional wrestling match in my life. It was an amazing experience. Thank you, Palmer and Gavin, for the hookup. You guys are absolutely amazing. So that was a cool moment. Even though the main event was awful, the rest of the show was stellar. So that was a cool experience. I've never really had that. For how much of a wrestling fan I am, I've never been to a live pay-per-view. I've never really been to like a lot of wrestling shows. I think I've been to one SmackDown back in the day, one Raw, and then this is my second Raw. Independent wise, just so much, man. I went from just 2 or 3 companies to working for like 5 or 6. I was announced to be the MC and host of the Contest of Champions in Jersey in December.
Wow, that's awesome.
And Sting, and I mean, I can go through the list of everyone's going to be there. It's going to be a massive show, but it's going to be a seminar. So people are going to be there wrestling, and trying and essentially trying out for other companies, as well as maybe some major companies that will be there in representation, as well as commentary is going to get a tryout, as well as backstage interviewing and everything like that. And then there's a con for the people, and then after the con's going to be a show. So I get to host the con, and then after the con's over, I get to hang out and enjoy the wrestling match. Not on commentary that night because my buddy Pete is on commentary with Kevin Kelly, which is super excited for him. Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
That'll be interesting elbow to bump and task the stories to Mr. Kevin Kelly. You know what I mean?
Well, I have worked with Kevin Kelly adjacent before. He has been involved with Outbreak Wrestling, where I do commentary. So I think 2 or 3 shows now, he's been there doing commentary. And now he officially is like part of their brand, and they rebranded, and they're called AXW. And it's been all over the internet. Kevin Kelly has his own independent wrestling company, and that's that one in Pennsylvania. So the company I have been working for is now essentially Kevin Kelly is a part of it. So it's a good spot to be in if you want to be a commentator when one of the people who own the company is one of the greatest of all time at commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, so me and Joe just got picked up to do guest commentary for our UK promotion, which is actually pretty awesome. So
nice. You guys gonna do it remote?
Yeah, we're doing remote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Geek next year, we're hoping to get more indie promotions to like ask us to do because we don't. The thing about me and Geek, we don't like to like jump in someone's DMs that we don't really know. We're not familiar with their promotion. We don't want to go in the promotion. Hey, I did promotion for a group in England. Can we do commentary? And they're like, bro, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
You're internationally known. We don't know who you are.
Yeah, that's kind of how it came for me. I had people vouch for me. I had people put my name out there, and then from there I kind of built up a resume, and I've been getting asked. So if any international people are listening and you do want post commentary, I know some people. We can get it done for you. I would love to be heard over in England. That'd be dope.
Anthony, the group is called Savage Pro Wrestling.
Well, no, if they want you guys, then that's yours. I'm saying if there's any other company,
you can watch their stuff. So you can watch
yeah.
Their one character you have to keep an eye on. He's freaking hilarious. Is like their version of Vince McMahon.
Oh, okay.
He's Mr. Savage Geek?
No, Mr. Savago.
Mr. Savago. He's funny as hell. So,
you're gonna be doing commentary. You better learn those names.
Yeah.
You have to watch Mr. Savago's first episode. Oh my god, you have to watch it. It's just that whole beginning scene. Oh,
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah.
Oh, but match wise, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to give you a top 5, but I can give you a couple that just stick off the top of my head. My number 1 of the year is probably gonna be Davey Richards versus VSK at PPW. That match was unreal. Just recently over the weekend, it's fresh in my mind. 2 matches on that show, which were really important, especially if you watch the entire season of The Sanctuary to kind of see where the story has been and where it's led up and how they concluded it. Because The Sanctuary is essentially wrestling, but it's a continuity story, and they do storytelling so well to the point where you fall in love with characters. You know what I mean? I think that's where their strongest point is is the storytelling. You can watch it all free on YouTube. Andre Polino versus Marcy Cabrera was unbelievable. The kid, he was the hero of this guy. Then he turned on the guy, and then he finally, he got to beat his mentor, but did it with respect. And then Ace Austin versus J.S. Hawthorne was unbelievable. The story of J.S. Hawthorne leading into this, and then going against the inevitable Ace Austin, great storytelling. Those two matches are very high on my list. Trying to think. Tessa Blanchard teaming with Danny Moe and versus Rembrandt and Cosmic at PPW was really good. Yeah, I consume so much. It's hard to keep track of everything. I'll even one for a podcast. How about Logan Paul had a pretty good match at Crown Jewel.
That match was awesome, by the way.
He hurt himself until he took out both his. I feel bad. That's sad. He hurt himself, and just wasn't his second WWE match. He got injured. That's sad.
All the fans that are ripping on
sad. It's sad.
Yeah. All the fans that are ripping on Logan Paul, man, for saying, "Oh, how come he gets the shot at Roman? How come there's other people that deserve it?" Because he's awesome.
Well, do you realize Logan Paul's whole brand? He went up against one of the pound for pound best boxers in the world. He didn't go through he didn't go through everything to get that. He got it because of star power. So that's been his whole MO leading into WWE. So why wouldn't they do it there too?
Exactly.
If the professional world of boxing is going to give him an exhibition, why shouldn't WWE?
Yeah, exactly. And that match with Roman, he trained hard for that match too, because
he takes it seriously. He's not just walking in as a celebrity and expecting the world. He's training, he's putting the work in, and he's getting it done.
Exactly.
Ooh, Harley has a question.
Ooh, I love questions. I'm never on the other side of questions, so this is fun.
Did you see the hand up emoji? I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
You know who Harley's first interview was?
Ooh,
it was me.
Oh wow!
When my early days of PPW, I went around and interviewed the fans, and I interviewed Harley.
Oh geez,
that's so awesome.
Was she talking really loud? You had to stand far away.
No, she was not the same Harley as we know today. She was at that point, she was very shy and calm and very, very quiet.
My 13th birthday. See, next year. Oh, there we got another awesome person in the chat. We have the King Daddy of indie scene right there.
Love it. Thank you guys. They're huge supporters. I love them to death, and
they're awesome.
They're huge reasons why PPW is the way it is the fans. The fans are the utmost. You could ask anybody in the talent. The company is great. We love working for the company. Paul is great. Anthony's great, but you can go out there and you could be having a bad day. You could be having a bad week, a bad month. You walk into PPW and just the way the fans are, you can't leave there in a bad mood because the fans are just amazing.
Yeah.
The question, you guys read it. Sorry. You're the host.
Harley, put your question in the chat. We're waiting with bating breath. I'm like,
you just did. It's you have a podcast. How long have you been doing it? She wants to know.
There you go. So I've been doing podcasting now for 4 years. I think I'm coming up on my 5th year. And when I first started, it started off, I was doing 4 or 5 different podcasts at one time. And I did it for about 4 years. Well, one was about 2 years and the other ones were about 4. It became, I set a precedent of how to do this. I know you guys have the motto I heard yesterday in your podcast. If it becomes a job, then you have to back away.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I got to dive in harder. This is my dream. I want this. I want to become something. I don't want to go to work anymore. I want this to be my job, and you're not going to get it without the work, dedication, and time that puts into it. But I also respect my time. I respect the people's time who I do it with, and I respect the time, effort it goes into doing it. But it just became so difficult to try to get multiple people on the same page to do interviews, to do, hey, we're going to travel and do this. But I always wanted it to be, if we do it as a team. So if I have an opportunity to do it, I'm not just going to go myself and do it. I want the team involved, but to get everybody on the team involved to always do it is tough. And it's really, really hard to be the leader and get 4 people on this show taken care of, and then 4 people on this show taken care of, and then 4 people on this show taken care of, and then getting everybody it's just a lot. It was a lot of moving things. It was a huge undertaking. I'm shocked I did it for as long as I did for 4 years. I love everybody who was involved with it. I love all the work we put into it. I'm still proud of all 5 of those podcasts, but as of this year, I ended all those and I rebranded and I went solo. So I'm only 3 episodes into my new podcast. And if I can kind of consolidate everything I was doing with the 5 and put it into one, I feel like I can't be stopped. I feel like this is going to be a big thing. I feel like I have time to do the things I wanted to do before on the channels, and that I can get it done. Where I can just kind of go and get it done myself if need be.
Yeah. You're doing awesome, Anthony, and we think you're gonna kill it in 2023, dude. You know?
Oh,
trying to make it my year.
I swear, like we all 3 of us were gonna kill it because like we're all in this little connection with this little. We have our own little say. Me and Geek. There's groups that have a big podcast like click. Me and Geek, we have a small one, and like just between all of us, hey, another subscriber, welcome. Like if we all succeed, it's not just us. If we succeed, if we all succeed, we're all happy.
Well,
I will say this, and I don't want to do the all kumbaya. I want to be realistic, especially people who are in the podcast community. A lot of my first 4 years with that podcast, especially in the wrestling community, was built trying to get people to work together. I mean, if you're on Facebook, I have the Elite Podcasters group where it's supposed to be a thing where we can work together, brand each other, get each other stuff done, promote each other, help each other. Because I felt like if I literally did so much research. I studied podcasters from Connecticut down to New Jersey, and I was working my way down. And I found hundreds of podcasters, and I would listen to their episodes. That's how we found each other. Like I researched everybody. And it wasn't just like researching to be like, am I better or this? No, I was trying to build a community and get everybody on the same page. But the realistic thing here is not everyone has that mind state. Not everybody wants to work together. Not everybody is receptive to that. And I was kind of telling Joe in the chat, the biggest question is how do you grow, right? And I think what too many podcasters try to do is like, I have a Discord, I had Facebook groups, I had Facebook communities, and I'm still guilty of this. Sometimes I'll do it. But it's not what you're supposed to do. If you're in a community, if you're in a group, if you're in a Facebook page, if you're on a TikTok, you cannot just go in there and flood all your stuff. Here's my new episode. Here's my new episode. Here's my new episode. Put your stuff in there and dip. No one's going to respect you. No one's going to click on your link. No one's going to care. You might get 1 or 2 people to click on it, but you need to build the community. You need to go in there and comment on people's threads. For all the work you put into social media saying, here's my new episode, you need to put the same amount of energy doing that as you do saying going to somebody else's channel, like going to Harley's and being in the comment section and saying, hey, I love the show, asking questions, engaging. Because then people are going to see, oh, wow, this person actually gives a shit. They're not just in here to spam and put themselves over. They're legit there to support. And if more podcasters did that to one another, we would grow. And it wouldn't just be celebrities who are dominating the industry, dominating the market, because the people are stronger than the celebrity. It's the truth. The only reason they're celebrity is because us, the people, make them celebrity. If we work together, we can get there as well. You don't need 1 million subscribers. If you have a strong 200, 300, you're good. You know what I mean? You can make a living off of podcasters with a small brand like that, but you need the loyal people to do it. But the problem is too many guys are just trying to flood each other's stuff, and no one's actually wants to work together. Everyone talks a big game. Like you guys are having me on. You know how many times I've had countless amount of podcasts? Go back and look at the Tornado Tag. If you go back and look at Tornado Tag podcast, I had numerous podcasters come on and put their brand over. How many times did I get a response back saying you should come on my show?
Nope.
Never. Because they all come on and get your audience. They don't want to work to help you put over on their audience.
Totally. Exactly.
I felt when I came on, me and Geek came on Tornado Tag, I didn't feel like it was like talking to Casey Case. I'm nervous as hell, sweating like freaking Key from Key and Peele. I felt like we were in like a yummy restaurant eating wings and drinking beer. Geek could be drinking soda.
Yeah.
I love beer with a bowl of wings in front of me. We were just chilling, bro. I didn't feel like I was like
just chilling.
What is he gonna ask me? Shit. Am I gonna get embarrassed about the old school match I love? But your buddy felt like he was me. It was like, oh, do you become best friends? The old school guy that was on 20 years. I felt like a bond. I was like, shit, these guys. And Anthony just I told Geek after, I was like, dude, I felt so comfortable.
That's what I honestly strive to do. When you're doing interviews, and I kind of been talking to Harley a lot about this, and I've never really let people in my mind of how I do the show or run the show, because it's just kind of something I've always just did naturally. I never really sat down and thought what I do to help other people do. Like, I can help you with equipment, I can help you with StreamYard, I can help you with all these cool things, but I'm really starting to boil down like what I do in my interview style and how I learned my interview style. And I kind of been teaching Harley that, like, in private messages, like, hey, this is what here's the 3 ones I listen to, study how they ask questions. You need to be prepped as an interviewer and have your questions lined up, but you also need to build off a conversation as well. So if you say something like, where did you train from? And they say, I trained out of here, here, and here. And you're like, oh, and some of the names. And then they say, like, and when I was there, this person was here. So you listen to that question, you say, well, how many people from your graduating class still wrestle? Because that's something that happens all the time. People quit. You build off those questions, because a lot of people have their list and they get their first question and they don't even listen to the response of the question. They're ready to ask the next one. But you build from the first one. You might be able to get 2 or 3 more questions out of that if you build off of the question they said and listen and say, oh, there's something more to that I'm interested in. Build off that. Then you have your next one lined up. You might not even get through your list, because by the end of it, you've had a general normal conversation, because you're generally interested in the guest instead of just going down your list of questions.
Yeah. That's why I try to have sometimes a response question, like, oh, who's your favorite wrestler, for example, and then it'll be like, all right, what's your favorite matches, and then they'll start talking and listing their favorite matches and moments from that wrestler, and then it'll be like a full on blown conversation. So,
well, that's another thing that happens a lot too in this with the podcasters is, listen, we have an uphill battle, because there's a lot of podcasts out here that are not good. And I hate to say it, but they're not. They don't put the prep in, they don't put the work in, but they're willing to drop money to pay a wrestler to come on their show and talk to them. You know how many times people have I heard that they paid a wrestler for an interview and the interview was awful because the wrestler didn't care. They got their money and they dipped. But also, the person who did the interview either Wikipedia the person, didn't really do their research, or they had their 10 list of questions and they're all the same 10 list of questions that they probably heard on another podcast, and they're trying to recreate and get those same numbers and not be themselves in the interview. Your goal as an interviewer is to not get everybody in based on your guest and grow through your guest. You want your audience to build off of you as the host, and the guest is the treat, if that makes any sense.
yeah, it's 100%, dude, because you want people to come really not to see your guest. You want the people to come to see you personally, because that's the goal, because you want that person to come back, keep coming back every single time.
Yep.
So
that's why I love Renee Paquette. I love Chris Van Fleet. I love AEW Unrestricted. Aubrey and Tony Schiavone do an amazing job with interviewing, because they have that connection where they feel like they're talking to their friends. You know, they're just some of the mainstream ones, but there's some good independent ones out there who do a great job.
Yep.
I hope that answered your question. I'm just trying to keep
I think
it
it did.
podcast.
Carly is like peachy, like she's like lighting up the chat. Well, I've been telling her and she laughs. I crowned her the queen of the PPW independent scene right there.
Yeah, she is Alicia Toot. Yes, thank you so much. I love Alicia. She has been a huge huge person too. Like we seen her for the second time and she remembered us from the first, and she's like, yeah, you want to do like you have your camera, let's make content, because she knows the game. Like, that's my problem. I go to shows and I just never bust my camera out and I never make content because I'll be vulnerable here. I'm nervous. I'm afraid to go and ask sometimes people or bother people, because also I want to get content. But if I feel, and this is just my brain, ready? So this is me at PPW. I can go and get interviews with 15 people and do quick 20-minute interviews and bang a whole bunch out. But when I'm at PPW, if a promotion says I can walk in their doors and I don't have to pay for a ticket, I have to earn my keep for that ticket, right? So this is before I was a commentator. I was a backstage interviewer, or I just helped with anything I could help with. So I put my content and my brand aside, and then when I walk in, I put the PPW brand on, or the Outbreak brand on, or I put the brand of who I'm working for that day, because they put me in to do the job. And sometimes that doesn't benefit me. For example, like there's promotions that I've been working for 2 to 3 years, growing, even without, not trying to be mean, but without a lot of their help of putting me over as a content creator, because they think of me as one of their own, and that's amazing, and I love that. but I'm not known as Anthony the podcaster for a long time at PPW. I was the PPW commentator. And then people are like, oh, you also have a podcast? Because I don't go out of my way to put it over because I'm that's not the brand I'm there to do that day. And then 14 other podcasters walk in the door and they think, wow, Tony came in and helped us grow our brand while also working on his. And then these other podcasters come in and go, hey, I want to come in and shoot all this content. And I'm kind of like, man, that'd have been dope to do for a while. But I come in, I do a meet and greet. I do all my prep for commentary. I make sure I'm on point with commentary. I want to make sure the show looks good. So the last thing I'm doing here is getting content for myself because I want to make sure what I'm there to do for the promotion is good.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely. I agree with you, Harley, in the chat. Yeah. He's doing it. Throwing that fire.
It all comes down to your work ethic. If you want to do anything in this world, you just got to work for it. I know somebody said in the chat, made a joke that I'll be working for GCW. I don't think that's going to happen, but that was the thing I did. I don't know if you guys are aware of the GCW settlement series they've been doing.
Yeah.
So they essentially just been saying whoever shows up, we'll give you an opportunity to get in the ring and roll. And I kind of showed up and I was like, what are you here for? And I was like, I'm a commentator. If you need a commentator, I'm here. And I went 2 or 3 times. I was supposed to go the 4th time, but my car had issues and I couldn't go and I was disappointed. But I think it'll be this Tuesday again. Is it this Tuesday or next Tuesday? Oh shit, I should probably figure that out because I have a guest booked. But I was
broken.
No, I'll commit to my guess. But I drove to Jersey and I literally drove to Jersey to do absolutely nothing. But I literally just showed my face and said I'm here, and if you need me, I'm here. You know what I mean? And sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. But if you don't get in the car and put the miles in and spend the gas, you never know if you don't try.
Well, I'm saying this now, Anthony. If there's ever a show and you want to have a buddy come with you,
I love that name.
That's
Thunderfeet
has been our homie since we were in college. That's our
those are all the indie shows with us, you know.
He is the guy that would if back in the day if we what we are now, he'd be our security. He was one of these big. He would be our Kevin Nash, the old school Kevin Nash with the AV.
He also streams on Twitch also, so he's a cool guy though.
Huge rock fan. Big, one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. Such a nice guy.
Irish John says ABJ, the first one in and the last one to leave. Yeah, the people I ride with hate that sometimes. They're like, why are you picking me up so early? The show don't start till 4. And I go, because if I get there early and there's enough people, I might be able to get content. And it never happens, and they probably get frustrated. But
would you ever consider coming to the New York side or?
I did. I went to Binghamton and I kind of just showed up with the idea is if you need me, I'm here. And I didn't really know what my job was going to be that day. And I showed up and they're like, hey, it was JD from PPW. He's one of the managers there and also commentary guys. And I just drove to Binghamton just to support him and help whatever I can to help his first ever show. And I showed up and he said, hey, I'm gonna throw you on commentary. And I said, I appreciate that. You didn't have to. But I drove all the way to New York once again on maybe. I drove on a maybe. You know what I mean? And some people won't do that. You know what I mean? They're saying that I'm not going unless it's guaranteed. And that was an opportunity that I did that, and I got to do commentary and call some matches that I really liked. He does.
But he sucks.
Alex is trying to get you to come to NYWC and SWA.
NYWC and SWA would be fun to work. I don't know if I'd be able to be a full-time guy there, but I would love to come in and hang out. It's hard to commit full-time, especially with the promotions I have who want me to be full-time for them. It's very, very hard to separate the two.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just throwing this out there, Anthony. If you ever think about coming to NYWC or one of those places, if you're near Milford, just grab me, muzzle me, and toss me in the car.
Say, Joe, we're going.
If there's room in the car, I'm down. So another thing I love to do too is on the way to a show. 9 times out of 10, if I'm driving somewhere, there's probably 2 in the front and 3 in the back, and we always bring talent with us. So like if we get booked in Jersey, we'll say to the promoter like, hey, we can bring 2 or 3 guys from PA. And if you want to use them. And then we bring our people up and they get opportunities to work other promotions. That's happened a lot too. That happens to me a lot where I have a friend that I travel with now, Philly Mike Swanson and Riley Crow. I'm the next 2 weekends. I'm not booked. I have nothing. I'm doing nothing at these shows. The only thing I'm doing is driving them to shows because right now they have car situations. But I know how it feels to be booked but not be able to get there. So I'm gonna ride out with my homies and make sure they get their job, make sure they get their booking fees, and make sure they get a chance to go and entertain people. And I'm just gonna sit in the crowd and enjoy myself. I'm not there to work. I'm not there to do anything. I could probably get content, which is exciting. But I'm not even telling the promoters I'm coming for the opportunity to get content. I'm just going as a fan.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, if you ever get a chance to check out ISPW, that's one in New Jersey. They do a lot of good shows. If you ever find out there's a show that you want to do, I'm praying. They said they were supposed to be back in the Sussex County Fairgrounds.
We skipped Harley's question. I don't remember. Carly, can you retype it? I apologize. I talk too much. If you like Jersey promotions, Shore Star is really good. Pro Wrestling After Dark is really good. Standalone Wrestling is really good. There are 3 promotions that really have been taking me under their wing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I only worked there once, and it was you want to talk. I love going places where the crowd is just into the product and they're really, really into what they do. IWA New Jersey is unbelievable. It's a melting pot of culture. It's like the Puerto Rican Spanish community and the white community and then everyone just jammed into this building, and they call their fans the Nut House because that's just how they are. They are absolutely ecstatic. Plans for the new year. Just to keep grinding. I love doing commentary, but my goal is I want to become a content creator. I would love to make this a brand. I'd love to be able to say like, hey, this is my job. I create content. The Patreon jibes up, or we get sponsorships, or we get to a subscriber account where social media pays me, and then the listeners don't have to. That's my goal, is just to keep growing my brand, and I'm going to put my brand a little more first, but still be respectful to the companies who are bringing me in to do commentary, if that makes any sense.
Definitely.
Makes sense. Totally.
Is finding your value. I'm sorry, Metal Geek. Finding your value. I think a lot of podcasters walk into promotions, and some promotions tell podcasters, hey, you have to pay us to walk in the door and make content. You have to pay us to put your logo on the poster and to even walk in and bring a camera. You have to pay. I'm like, wait a second. You don't pay a newspaper to put your thing in, do you? I said, the thing is if you have 1,000 people reading that newspaper, I think your margin is probably this big of people who care about professional wrestling. I'm bringing in an audience of X amount of subscribers that are keen to professional wrestling. So I bring more value than you think I do, but why am I paying you? Like, I'm not asking for money, but let's work together. Work together. When how it should be in promotions that I know, they'll say, hey, over here, there's 3 podcasters. If you guys are talent and you want to get over, go hit up those 3 people. They're here to help us get our thing and get you over. So the promoter should be like, hey, we have this podcast, this podcast, this podcast. Make sure you guys hit them up throughout the day and help them get content. And also, you're going to put yourself over as a talent, and then you're going to say that you're at our show. They're going to put that on the internet, and more people are going to hear about our show to go watch it. It should be a team effort, not what could we do to get money out of podcasters who are willing to pay it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You said everything that I've been thinking and I've been saying to Geek for weeks. People have been
in trouble sometimes with these thoughts.
Oh my god! It's like we need that meme, that thing from Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends? Yup. I've been saying that for months to Geek when somebody messages our Instagram page. No names.
Can you pay me $400 to put your logo on our poster?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I'm like, no. I'm like, it's our logo. First of all, why do we need to pay you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. My dad said that to me. Everybody's saying it to me. Don't give them a dime. You're bringing them notoriety. You're bringing them information, like things. We have people that watch us from England, Scotland, Portugal, Canada, like
Australia,
like all over the globe and half the country.
Know your value.
Yeah. Like, dude, really? Like,
well, Alex, and I hate this term. I hate this term, but too many times the term mark gets thrown out there, and because we're wrestling fans and because we're podcasts and content creators, they think, oh, they're dumb marks. We can get money out of them. At the end of the day, if you're telling me I have to pay you to interview an independent talent that you don't even own, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It makes me sick because there's certain promotions, not name dropping, but we tell them about the promotion, and then the person chimes down on me like freaking Deadpool getting beat up by Wolverine. Like boom! After the podcast, I get grabbed through a wall saying, "You need to play Bubba to bring them here," and I'm like, the person, yikes! Like, no, get away from me, stalker, creeper alert! Like,
The thing is if you're going to demand that and tell a promotion that you're not doing it, you have to back that up on your end too with your hard work and your work ethic. Because if you walk in with 12 subscribers and you get three plays per view, you can't walk in and expect the same thing as another content creator who's doing the job of putting themselves out there and being weekly and being consistent. You know what I mean? So you can't walk in and demand the same thing that a Chris Van Fleet is working for. Like, I worked for a promotion for 2 years. Chris Van Fleet walked in and got the red carpet treatment, and he should, because he's higher ranking than me. Just like if you're a professional wrestler, I don't care if you're a student who set up every chair in the building and set the ring up. If The Rock walks through the door, you're the lowest man on the totem pole. No one gives a shit about you. You want to get to that level? Put The Rock work in.
Exactly. And Alex just complimented you, Joe. He digs the beard, by the way.
I do like the beard as well too. Beard is always good.
Get rid of the what? This is naturally gray because my family.
It's a Finkel stash.
Finkel stash. He said, keep the beard and not and keep the beard, not just the mustache.
Because see, you remember from when I did the tornado tag, the Fink is part of my DNA.
I'm jealous because you grow a great mustache. I have the gap. I can't.
Yeah,
pull
we
off
said
a
that
full
when we were on
stash.
tornado tag. It's like I don't guess it's. I found out during Ancestry, I have Viking in my blood, so the beard, it's Viking, baby. I wish I had that hair. That would make me look like a wood. I would look like Wolverine because I'm little.
I gotta spit on one of those sticks, but they cost too much.
And I have the gun show.
Woo, look at those things. You better calm down, Hogan. 20 inch
walking around the woods with a tank top with the freaking ripped jeans on, coming out of the woods with the hair like that. Like, mommy, Wolverine lives next door to me. Get out of here, kid.
Harley's got another question if you guys don't got one.
Harley got him.
Harley should host this right now. She's killing it.
I told you, Harley comes through with like the fire question. That's why I love her in the chat. She's
gonna give away all of her questions now, and then she won't book me on in December.
Oh, here you go. She has a question. Her birthday's on December 5th.
Oh, there it is. You know what I'm doing for my birthday, everybody? I will be on a podcast with Harley. I'm spending my birthday on that podcast, and we're going to do an interview. So definitely go check out Harley and Sabrina's podcast. They do an amazing job. But that's where I'll be December 5th on my birthday. I think it's what day is that again? What does that fall on? Is it a Tuesday?
December 5th.
Monday.
That's a Monday.
Yep. So I will be December 5th on a Monday. I will be on that podcast. And trust me, the ABJRB will be coming in full effect.
Yeah. So Anthony, do you watch any Creator Pro or have you watched it? Or
I do not. So I'm going to ask you, where can I see Creator Pro? Are they on YouTube?
Are they on Twitch? Twitch. They're on Twitch. Yeah. YouTube. So they do a show. I think it's every 2 or 3 months, Joe. They do a show.
Yeah.
Every 2 or 3 months, and every show they kill it. They're just
they do a great job. They do an absolute great job. They have great students. A lot of good people coming out of that school. The Talk of the Ring podcast. I am so sorry I didn't say the name of the show.
Those ladies are doing their work. They're great. Definitely go follow them on all social medias. They have. They're getting their feet wet. They're like the ducks. You see them walking on the side of the road. They're like wetting their little wings, and they're gonna fly away. They're gonna fly higher than us. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Podcast system.
Yeah. So, Creator Pro. Huge Leo Sparrow fan. I think he's a really nice guy.
Amazing.
I actually cut. If you go back and watch his first promo he did when he was in the Rio Grande, New Jersey, he said, that the IC title was won in Rio de Janeiro. I'm gonna win my title in Rio Grande, but I can't just walk around with the title. I have to beat somebody first. So there's a video of a guy on the side of the road in a yellow vest and I think a hat, and he's picking up trash, and he's a big fat guy. And Leo Sparrow comes over and smashes him in the head with a knee, and he falls over, and Leo Sparrow pins him, and he becomes the world's champion. that was my first and only bump I'll take in professional wrestling. So I was beat for the world championship for the very first time. It's my claim to fame, Leo Sparrow.
That's amazing.
I was told by a wrestler from California, Anthony, that he wants to throw me through a table, and I'm like, no. I'll sit here and do commentary with you if I ever had a chance to do it in PPW. I may mark out because your commentary is really spot on and really good. But I'd probably stay professional. But I would love to do it. I would love to see if I ever go to PPW. I could ask Paul, like, Paul, can I grace you with maybe doing commentary since I'm here?
Well, good luck, because I'm going to be honest with you. One of the things with commentary too at professional wrestling companies is for a very long time it's been commentary has always kind of been a revolving door where they just kind of let anyone do it. And I think a lot of promotions are realizing that it's not always the best for your brand when people listen back because you don't have control over the commentary. So a lot more companies have been tighter on who sits in those seats. And there's a waiting list on every company, like, hey, can I get in there? So I wish you luck. I hope it happens for you, but it's not my call, but you know what I mean? Yeah. It's tough. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just telling you how the game is.
Man.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not. It's becoming harder to break into it, and that's because people like Paul Bowe and Pete DeLong and these really really talented commentators that once people started giving the opportunities to really good commentary, they're like, oh, we're not gonna just do the whole rotation thing anymore. We're gonna try to lock these guys down. And that's a positive thing, and I think that's one thing that we've been doing really well in this side of the spectrum is kind of locking those seats in. Yeah, but yeah, Creator Pro, huge VSK fan as well.
He's awesome.
I love VSK, very very nice guy. And there's a kid, he's a power lifter, Spanish kid, Myers. I'm not sure of his first name. He wrestled twice at the Sanctuary. He's from Creator Pro. He would literally drive from New York all the way down to Hazleton, Pennsylvania, work the Sanctuary. I'm really bummed I don't remember his name right now. But he's very, very talented. He's a Creator Pro kid. I love what they do. I'm a big fan of that school. If anyone from Creator Pro is listening, I would more than happy drive to your school and bring up my camera equipment and interview some of your talent and learn about your school.
Watch Geek. I'm just guaranteeing right now. Podcast Jesus right here will be at that episode. You're right there. He's gonna
honestly one of the things I want to do is I want to start going to wrestling schools and getting footage of a training session, just like a small, and then interview people about how they found the school, the history of the school, what the school has gone through, because I think those stories are I love those aspects of stories. I don't know if you've been watching like the territory stories that are on Vice TV. They're amazing. And I want to capture some of those stories as well. And I've always been fascinated in that more than actually even the wrestling. So I would love to go to more training schools and get content like that. So if anybody wants to steal that idea, you're more than welcome to, because I want to hear the stories. Yeah.
Every company except SWA.
For commentary. For the commentary.
We know SWA. That sounds like the one that we know from Italy. SWA, isn't that the name of that one, Gig?
No, it's the one from Long Island.
Well, there's one in
There's
Italy.
so many. There's like 100 PPWs. Just those 3-letter acronyms.
You know, look that up now.
To
Harley's question, we never got to it about what she would want to call. Where is it? I just saw.
If I got a call from AEW or WWE to be a part of their team, would I take it? Yes, I would 100% take it. Either one of them, I would take the job. No shots thrown at WWE, but I feel like there's some people in WWE that I think I can be better than, or I would fit in very well with. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just thinking I bring a little something different to the table. I think too many people in WWE are like that model, like be Michael Cole, but like a little hybrid version of him. You know what I mean? And then like someone like Pat McAfee or Corey Graves steps in there, and it's like, oh, this is a breath of fresh air because they're so different. That I think I would bring that to the table. AEW, I would be shitting my pants because their commentary team is unbelievable, and then some of the best in the history of the business, especially when they throw the ROH commentary team guys in there. That would be intimidating. AEW as a commentary team would be a very I would feel like it was a sink or swim moment. I'd probably have horrible anxiety. I'd have a horrible anxiety at either one of them, but trying to follow Jim Ross, Excalibur, Shivani, and Taz would be absolutely frightening.
That's scary.
I'd be nervous to do like the WWE commentary because growing up, trying to be like either Gorilla Monsoon or be like the Bobby the Brain Heenans, I'd get the stomach bubbles even like before the show. I'd be like, oh no, give me a garbage can.
I would love to work with Corey Graves. I love Corey Graves' commentary.
He's freaking fun to work with, and if you say something, he'll get you, and then go back and forth.
And I think the back and forth with me and Graves would be a good time. And I really love Michael Cole. I think Michael Cole got a lot of heat his whole career, but he's also someone who had someone yelling in his ear for as long as he did. And I think Michael Cole really got to show what Michael Cole's about when Pat McAfee showed up.
Yeah.
It sucks. So, Pat McAfee's trying to do is what I modeled myself to do as well. And then he jumped into commentary, and I was like, well, not that he stole my idea. No ideas are sacred, but it's just like the energy he brings to commentary is what I try to do. I don't stand on top of tables and dance. I mean, sometimes I dance. Sometimes you just get up and you got to dance, but I'm not opposed to it. I've done it before, but I just try to be on. I think what Pat does, what I try to model myself as well, is no matter what I do in life, I'm unapologetically me. I'm me through, like, the only time where I'll play a little bit of a character is on commentary. Like when I do some commentary in Jersey, I do heel sometimes, and I have a really fun time doing it. But it's like even some of the heel are little bits of me just being funny, but also being heelish. But I just try to be me, and I try to let my personality shine through of if anything I try to create, whether it's podcasting or professional wrestling commentary.
Yeah. So we know Anthony's favorite moment this year from wrestling. What would you say your favorite moment, Joe, is this year?
Oh my gosh, this year?
Yeah.
I'm not a big, you're more the AEW guy, but after watching the MJF microphone thing he did, that thing he did when they were off live, when he went off
this week, this past week, you mean?
Yeah, I watched it when you sent me. I was like, ooh,
fire,
ooh, and CM Punk somewhere is going, I did that already.
Here's another moment for you, and it's not even one that people talk about enough. How about Willow Nightingale getting the official Willow is All Elite? That was a cool moment this year.
That was a cool moment, definitely.
Ace Austin killing the Super Juniors and becoming a Bullet Club member was cool this year. And hopefully, knock on wood, tonight, I believe it's tonight, Impact. It's either tonight or tomorrow night. It's one of those nights. I think it's tonight. I think they put their pay-per-view on tonight, and then tomorrow night's going to be AEW. But I will have to watch the pay-per-view when I get home later. I'll be driving back from New Jersey. I'll be at Titan. So if anybody that goes to Titan, I'll be at Titan Promotion tomorrow. Just giving a ride to somebody, not doing any work. But hopefully Masha Slamovich brings home a title. I'm a huge Masha fan, and I would love to see her win the Impact World Women's title.
Definitely, she needs to. She's a very underrated, man. She needs to win something. You know,
someone's got to strap give her the strap, give her the belt. There's another person I don't know if you ever heard of in Staten Island, Warriors of Wrestling.
Yeah. I think they just did they just do a show with Darius Carter versus Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah, I was so mad. I had to use the bathroom when I was in Brooklyn. And I walked into a random pizza place, asked the guy if I could use the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, came out, and was standing there to buy a soda. And something loveliness caught my eye. Like, oh, what is this catching my eye? There's no car driving by. I'm not having a stroke. And I look over, wrestling poster. Bought my soda, and as I'm opening it like a little kid drinking the soda, looking at the poster, seeing if I know anybody on it. Everybody we know. It was Adina Steele. It was Joan, Vicious Vicky. It was, oh my God, it was like the poster, whoever did this poster, magnifique, because I knew every face on this poster. I was like,
that show is available on YouTube if you want to go watch it.
Okay.
I did watch the Darius and Tessa match, and it was unbelievable. Thank you, Harley. Sisters, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you as well.
He wants to see you dance. Guess you have to get that fake generic music on. Let Anthony dance. Geek.
Where's that generic music? I got that.
I'm not dancing now. I got to be in the moment. I can't bust it out. You know what I mean? There's some wrestlers that have really good intro music, and you just got to dance to it.
Oh.
I think I danced to Dalton Castle when it came out. You can play music. I ain't dancing to it.
So yeah, if you're ever gonna get that show, Anthony, let me know. I've always wanted to go to something in New York because indie shows in New York and Pennsylvania, they bring the fire. Like,
if there's a if I lived in New York, and I know New York is not like Pennsylvania, where sometimes I can get the shows in New York quicker than people from New York can get to New York shows. But if you live in New York and you're anywhere close within a 2 to 3 hour car ride, and you're not going to House of Glory shows, you're crazy.
They're crazy.
Yeah. How are you not supporting House of Glory? That promotion is unbelievable, and everyone there is so good. Actually, what's Masha's company that Rembrandt and Cosmic have been working with a lot? Hold on.
Isn't it NYWC?
No. I believe it's two companies that have been working together, and they kind of made their own school / promotion. I'm gonna creep on Cosmic quick because I know she posts about it. She actually just did a match. She just did a match there with Masha. She's been working a lot with Masha there. And Cosmic, Cosmic's always been amazing, but her training with Masha, you can definitely tell that she's getting that rub. And I'm telling you right now, 2023 is going to be a huge year for Cosmic. But what is the name of the place they just started working?
Don't mention her name to don't mention her, Geek's name to her. She'll grab Geek through the wall and like launch him.
Oh, Battle Club Pro, and
I've heard of that promotion.
Yes,
I've heard of it.
Wrestling, and I think the school is called the Fallout Shelter.
Wow, they have a school.
Yeah, I think it's two promotions that came together and they work. It's the Federate Wrestling, Battle Club Pro, and Fallout Shelter. Check them out. Iron sharpens iron. I almost had a stroke saying that. And that's one of the schools you definitely have to keep a team out for.
Yeah, Hog is something that
is killing it. I heard the last show was great.
I told my sister about it, which lives in New York City, and I said, Sister Panther, we have to go to a show. Where do they do shows a lot? I'm like, in Queens. She's like, well, if there's a hotel within like walking distance, we can go the day before, stay at the hotel, and then we'll go to the show the next day. And I'm like,
I've already driven 4 hours to a show, worked the whole day, and then drove home. Like I drove to Atlantic City, did the show, and drove home from Atlantic City. They are rough. They are rough drives. But House of Glory, man. Charles Mason, Evander James, the main event. Ben Rutan.
Amazing, right?
My God. Mantequilla, Nola Katana, Leroy, Big Game Leroy. I mean, that promotion, and that's just the handful that I know from PPW. That promotion's so good. So good. Everyone threw Amazing Red. So awesome.
Joey Silver. Don't forget Joey Silver is there.
Are you, Anthony, are you familiar with the SATs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Encore. Oh my God, Encore. Yeah.
Yes.
Encore is in it. I heard so much good things about Encore. I have not seen him. But
I'm so
glad too. Encore versus Jay Bougie. Somebody book it. I need that match in my life. Encore versus Jay Bougie. We need it.
Like, I'm so glad you said you do, Anthony, because we've had people on
they're legendary.
The West Coast going, wait, they've said it on this podcast, Geek. I'll go SATs. Who? And I'm like,
how do you
SATs are so legendary? They were at Rey Mysterio's party at Raw.
Yes. Yeah, I'm all gonna say is they're really cool. We talked to them. They have that promotion win. Their new promotion they started.
Yeah, I'd love to listen. SAT, call me if you need a guy to come in.
They're good people. You connect with them, you're connected for life. Like
they did a match. They did a match at Outbreak Wrestling that was really good. It was SAT versus Diamond City War Machine and Philly Mike Swanson, and it was a banger.
Yeah,
I was not on commentary for that match, but I watched in awe as a fan.
They need to come to PPW. Just saying.
PPW, you heard it here first.
Dude,
book
PPW, I'm talking to you. Hi, Bo. What's going on? I'm the problem. I know. Hi, I'm the problem. Yes. Please, you guys need to try to get the SATs on your promotion. I will come. I promise.
Ooh. Joe, you just heard that. You heard it first. You heard it first. Joe's going now.
I got a match. I don't care if I have to walk. I don't care if I have to swim. I don't care if I have to monkey crawl through the freaking woods of the Poconos. I will try to be there.
Anthony, you heard it? You heard it.
So SATs, what are they? How many members are in SAT?
It's
Three.
like 5 members.
No,
That's
three.
like that's like the
They
Wu-Tang
mostly run
Clan.
with. They mostly run with what? 3?
Three.
Yeah.
Well, right now there's a team at PPW that rolls with 3 members called Primal Fear.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah, I heard
my
about them. They're
God.
crazy.
I mean, that writes itself. Primal Fear versus SAT. PPW.
Would
Let's make
you
it happen.
want to steal an idea? Give them an idea for a match, Paul? Do like almost like they do in NYWC. Do like a Psycho Circus match.
Psycho Circus matches scare me because isn't that where Willow got hurt? The Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
But that would be the craziest match because the SATs do the what? Oh, the Canadian Destroyer, and they do the Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly.
Oh gosh, Spanish Fly through a table.
The washing machine. The washing machine.
Listen, we just had a show at PPW that was a fans bring your own weapon match.
Yeah, I heard
and,
that.
Someone brought a dildo.
What?
Yeah. And it got used.
What?
If you want to see Alpha,
Nobody's written.
If you want to see Alpha Junior use a dildo, so, Fight TV. Let's go subscribe. PPW.
Keith's like, I gotta see this, but I don't want to see this. It wasn't like, and Harley had her. Did you see Harley's picture of her on the stop sign?
That was my stop sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I messaged her and said, "Hardcore Harley."
Yeah, I gave her my stop sign so she can give it to the ring. There was ABJ stickers all over it.
That smile on her face was priceless.
Was it pink?
Smile on her face?
It was not pink. It was my skin tone color.
Oh,
jeez. But a lot more on steroids.
It was like, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, we're so sensitive. They're gonna be so sensitive today.
Yeah, as we get banned from the internet.
Yeah, we're done.
Did you see the X in the corner?
3 times. Sorry,
Facebook
guys.
Gone. Instagram.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll create a new page. We'll call it Dudes at Ring. We'll call it Dudes at Ringside, but we'll improvise.
I would feel horrible if I had a page taken down because I said.
We've had worse. We had a female wrestler from Canada. No name dropping. She had something happen to her at a match, a hardcore match she did, and a certain famous hardcore wrestler saw her wound and was like, I ain't eating that.
Canceled. LOL.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that word way too well. Hi, friend. Welcome back to the dark side. Hello, darkness. My old friend. Hi, friend. Remember me? Yeah. So yeah, we famous hardcore wrestler saw this woman's wounds and said, "I'm not touching those." Like, yeah.
Yeah, hardcore and deathmatch scare me. I understand how people appreciate them. But I guess when you become friends with the talent and you're like, oh boy, I'm not really excited that you are going to do that. That's scary.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is, especially traveling with a wrestler, is imagine like, hey, you're in a car ride and you drove 3.5 hours to a show. And then you go to that show and God forbid the person you drove has to go to the hospital.
You're the driver.
Yeah.
I'm the driver. So guess who sits in the ER room for another 8 hours after they just worked the show?
You the captain now.
Yeah.
You the captain now.
We're there for
You're the mommy and daddy.
Time. Yeah. It's gonna be a long night.
You're the poppy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
They're gonna ask you, doctor. So are you the dad? Yeah, I guess. That's
Why would they ask me if I was the dad? If we're not giving birth, it's a wrestling injury.
I don't know, because if the doctor doesn't know, what the guy's knocked out, I guess you have to be the poppy. Like,
all right. You lost me on that analogy.
Well,
Joe, just sit in the corner, please.
Yeah. Well, like, that's the most.
You're singing timeout right now, Joe.
I'm always in
just
timeout.
sit in timeout.
Like, that's the thing. Like, you're driving this person. Like, that's like a very interesting, important question. Like, if you're driving this person to the wrestling show, and they get knocked out, and some reason they don't have their gear, their regular stuff on, they don't have their ID in their wallet. It's still in the locker room. They took them off.
She lost
You have to
Harley
be
too.
there. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of variables, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be the arms and the eyes and ears of this person's whole being. You have to run the locker room and find out what
Some people
bag
work
was
the
there
next
that
day.
had ID.
Could you imagine that? Like, guys, it's Anthony's bedtime. Just kidding. You guys have any more questions?
Yeah, I was just about to talk about my favorite moment from Critic Pro.
Oh,
actually.
please do. Yes.
Yeah, so my favorite moment from Critic Pro is actually when Bryce Donovan won the Critic Pro championship at the grand stage, because he went through a lot this year through injury and everything, and for him to finally get the big one this year was actually an amazing moment to see. So
Yeah, Facade winning the PPW championship was like that for me as well. Just knowing Facade personally and how much work he puts in, and the time he travels to get to shows, and first in, last out mentality, and hurting his knee and thinking he was going to take the rest of the year off to a knee injury and fighting through it. It was a dope moment, especially because he's been chasing that title since before the pandemic. So it was I actually almost got a little emotional on commentary. I don't want to put Paul under the bus, but I think Paul did a little bit too. I think we both got a little teary eyed. I'm not gonna lie.
Harley
has goosebumps right there.
It was good. It was a good moment.
So where could we find you, Anthony?
I am very easy to find, Anthony Blackwell Jr. on all social media, or you can go to linktree.com/Anthony Blackwell Jr. I have everything there. I want to put one plug out here. We're building up like that Discord I was telling you about. So my Discord is in the link tree. It's completely free to join. I think we're like 17 members away from hitting 100, which would be a cool milestone. So come in, enjoy the Discord, enjoy some fun conversations. And I'm currently on the quest of hitting 300 subscribers on YouTube. By the end of the year, I would like to do that, or at least the end of the month. I have 2 weeks to do that. I'm currently sitting at 258. So anything is possible. So if you are listening to this and you would like to check out the YouTube channel, please do so. And then anywhere you can find podcasts, the ABJ podcast. That's Anthony Blackwell Jr., abbreviated to ABJ. If you want to take it and be dirty and be funny, please do. That's what it's there for. But yes, and then listen, the best way to remember it is everyone loves ABJ. You know what I mean?
That's clever right there. You know what I mean?
See you later, Harley. I'll head to bed. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Definitely.
Thank you, Harley. Thanks for always coming in the chat, and have a great night, friend.
Yeah. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Anytime.
Man.
I hope I didn't talk too much.
Oh
no, man. You've been awesome, dude.
We got to do our at the end of the show. We'll do a fun little breakdown. The fun parts. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm the Metal Geek.
I'm ABJ.
And we will catch you in the next one. See you in December, family.